So it's half one time I want miracle. Come confront the guy another mistake. I didn't confront the guy another mistake. Mushima not let the guns and chicken.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. Just by way of confirmation, can anybody just give me a thumbs up that can hear me as well as see the exam paper that we'll be doing? Thank you, Adila. Thank you very much. I just wanted to check if the lady in question is online. No, she's not. Okay, not to worry. Let's get going. Okay. We'll be covering the exam entirety as well as your exam focus, as well as we're doing a past paper, as you can see. Can you all see the past paper, by the way? Pardon me. Can you all see the paper in question? Thank you, Andile. Okay. So the exam paper, when you're writing your exam again, anybody tell me? Anybody tell me when you're writing your exam? Anybody? Thank you very much indeed, ma'am. Thank you very much, Latila. Thank you. All right. Next up, the exam in question. Thank you very much, Thank you very much indeed. In terms of the exam, all right. First of all, for the exam in question, we're writing the 23rd of June at 9 a.m. Please can I ask for the following to make sure that you're ratified and that you know your exam venue as well as the room number. Please make sure that you confirm that you write your exam on the Monday, the 23rd of June. Either on the Thursday or Friday, you confirm with your respective campus of 9 campuses around the country that you are writing the exam. Then please make sure that you understand that in the campus that your name is listed to write the exam. Next, please make sure that you have the right venue for the exam, that they know and you know your exam venue at hand. Next up, please get to the venue 1 hour minimum before the time to write the exam. Take into account things like traffic, etc., as you know, and please make sure that you are there at the time. Please make sure you are seated in your exam room at least 20-25 minutes prior to writing your exam. Next, please make sure that you have 1 or 2 spare pens to write the exam in question, and make sure that they understand it is for a pen to write your exam. All right, you'll be given the paper 15 minutes before the commencement to write your exam. It is a 2-hour paper for 120 marks. Next, please make sure that you have a copy of your Varsity College ID. If not, please make sure that you have a copy of your driver's license or your South African ID. Please confirm with the campus that it will be allowed if you do not have a VC ID card. Some campuses are very strict on that. Some are not as strict. So please make sure that you are allowed into the campus on the day of question with a driver's license or South African ID. Or ideally, please make sure that you have a Varsity College ID card. Next up, venue on the 23rd of June in the right venue. Please make sure that they are writing the papers for the HURM 5122 exam paper so that you're in the right venue at the time. Next up, when writing the exam, as I mentioned, have a couple of spare pens of paper, your ID, and obviously you know the layout of the campus in question in terms of restrooms and things like that, just in case or the event of. Next, when writing your exam paper, please make sure the following. When you read your paper, and we'll go through a paper now, and we'll touch on the key parts of it, please make sure when you're reading your exam paper, you read through it in detail, and you make sure that you understand each of the question. When reading the question, make sure that you understand reading the question, and you look for the actual question in the question. And we'll cover some examples now. An example, if it says to you, discuss, report, illustrate, explain, or give interpretations of a piece of work, it is then asking you for your understanding and your interpretation of the question to the best of your ability. Okay. In saying that, if for the question paper, the question that in hand, as what just been mentioned, is for 5 marks, the rule of thumb is you write for half a page. If it's 10-mark question, you write for a full page. Yes, it is not cast in stone, ladies and gents, but it is merely as a guide so that you've covered the appropriate amount of work that you need to cover for your exam. Okay. Where it says to you, give examples, list, write down the following, then it's merely asking you for the answer, not for an explanation, but merely for an understanding that you know the piece of work and you write it down in terms of verbatim. When answering these type of questions, the marking rubric will apply when it comes to questions like illustrate, give a report, explain, discuss, or give examples in terms of your interpretation and your understanding of these questions. In the rule, a marking rubric, in some instances they do give it to you, but as you know, the marking rubric, right, is as follows. It'll give you a certain amount of marks for for let's say a 50-mark question. You'll get 2 marks for the introduction, 3 marks for your conclusion, and 8 marks for the body of your example in terms of your interpretation and explanation. You'll get a further 2 marks for grammatical, spelling, and use of the English language appropriately and accordingly, which will make up the total of 15 marks. Where it is obviously a longer, for example, a 20-mark question, the same interpretation will apply in terms of having an introduction, a body, spelogram, as well as your conclusion. Okay. Next up, when it comes to writing these exams, we'll go through the question paper now. I'd like you please to go through the following past papers: 2018, 2019, 2023, and obviously 2024. Okay. You might say to yourself, why are these papers in question? Okay. There are only so many ways you can ask a question in exam. Okay. And you'll be amazed the amount of knowledge you'll pick up by doing these past papers in detail in terms of understanding the question as well as putting down your answers in a controlled exam type environment. So again, go through the past papers, understand what the expectations are, and make sure that you understand how to go about answering these type of questions. Next question, do you all know where to find the past papers on student services? Anybody tell me where to find them? Can anybody tell me where to find the past papers? Anybody? Okay. Thanks, Andile. Let's go through it quickly. Right. Can you all see my screen? Andile, can you see the screen? Thank you, Andile. You go through the following process. Right, you go to student internet or student resources. You'll then go to past papers. You click on past papers. From there, past papers, you'll click in terms of H, which covers HURM. Okay, you'll click on there, and we will then go to, let's say, 2023. But I want you please to go for 2018, 2019, as well as 23 and 24. All right, can you all be mindful of that? All right. Are we with me? Are we with me? Okay, let me carry on then. All right, over here, you'll then take, for example, 2023. You'll click on 2023. You'll then go down to HURM 5122. You'll then click on that. And the paper, 2023, HURM 5122, and the past paper will come up in front of you. And you will go through the past paper. Okay. You all know how to do that? Can you all, somebody just let me know you are comfortable to find it? Sunay, can you let me know that you're comfortable to go and find it in at your own time? Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. All right. These are important when it comes to making sure that you do past papers. In saying that, all right, you can choose. Let me go back again. You can go right back to 2013 if you want to. Okay. I would not choose the COVID years, 2020, 2021. All right, because you get all kinds of nonsense with take-home exams, with all that rubbish. Okay, so please make sure that you choose the years before the COVID years and after the COVID years. Okay, so understand what they are. An example, you can go to 2013, and you can go down HURM. I don't think they did one there. HUR, there we go, over there. Over here, and you can scroll down, and it gives you a view of how the questions were, what, 12 years ago. All right. So again, you can see, and it gives you understanding. Okay. All right. Let me go back to, let me take myself off this. You all know how to do that. Let me go back to here. Share screen. Sam. Okay. Right. Okay, take that away. Okay, that covers the exam entity as well as the past papers I'd like you to cover. And I implore you all to go through the past papers in terms of understanding each one in detail. Okay. Next, your prep work for your exam. All learning units 1 to 6 are covered in your exam. Okay. I repeat, all learning units 1 to 6 are covered in your exam. Okay. So that means that in your exam, for your preparation, I'd like you to please go over the content of each learning unit in detail. Okay. An example, we'll be looking at learning unit number 4. All right. In learning unit number 4, it talks about, you click on that, it'll tell you the overall scope of the learning unit, and then you'll click on learning unit objectives, and it will tell you all the objectives that you need to understand for understanding and the completion of this learning unit. In that, you will see the theme. For each theme will give you a detailed scope of the theme that you need to go through. All right. When it goes through to each one, it'll give you each theme and activity for the career management learning, which is learning number 4. All right. In learning number 4, you'll also notice there'll be the lecturer resources, which is the slide we went through in detail. Okay. You click on that, and they'll all come up there for you in terms of understanding as well as application. Please make sure you do the following for each learning unit. You understand and go through all the learning units, learning units objectives. 2, please go through all themes of the learning unit in detail. Some have learning units 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Some only has 1. But go through each one so that you understand each learning unit in detail. Next, you then take the slides that are published on ARC and go through them and analyze them in terms of each learning unit to the slide in terms of the learning unit objective. Pretty much how we did in the collab sessions. Next, you then take the collab sessions for a guide of understanding to make sure that you understand each learning unit in detail and how best to understand each of the learning unit objectives, okay, in relation to the learning unit in question. Okay, so just to recap, learning unit, each one in 1 to 6 in detail. You then take the learning unit objectives and look at those and what they are and write them down. You then take the learning unit theme for each learning unit and go through each theme and understand and make sure that you know what those themes are at a granular level. Next, you then take your slides that are published on each learning unit and you work them back to each of the learning units in terms of the learning unit objectives. Okay. All 6 learning units will be applicable in your, in your exam for this exam coming up on the 23rd of June, 2025. Are there any questions anybody would like to ask at this time? Are there any questions anybody would like to ask? Any questions? No questions at all. Okay. All right. The exam, the past paper is in front of you. Can you all see the past paper? Can somebody just let me know that you can see the past paper, please? Cool. Thank you, Andile. Right. The past paper is 2024. We need to look at, obviously, make sure that the right module code is there, which you have done. It is examination of 120 marks for 2 hours. We then have a look at the past paper. When looking at the past papers, again, we have what? We have 1 mark, 1 question for 25, question 2 for 25 marks. We then have question 3 for 45 marks, and question 4 for 20. Whoops, there's not 45. Gosh, for 45 marks, pardon me. And then you have a question for 25 marks, which is question 4, which will be the conclusion of your paper. Okay. Not to go through all the, whoopsie days, not to go through all of them, but I'll pick out key ones that shouldn't be helpful. Okay. When answering question 1, it says, please answer the following questions thoughtfully, using examples to elaborate on each point. Verbatim answers are neither required nor desired. Okay. So question 1 asks us, remuneration stands at the heart of any improving relationship. This relationship is based on an economically motivated process where certain inputs, employees' abilities and performance are exchanged for some inputs, rewards that are desirable in satisfying individual needs. Enlist and discuss. So here's the question. Enlist and discuss the main objectives of a remuneration system. So now it's asking you again for a discuss type answer for 5 marks. Again, the marking rubric will apply. And then you will obviously go from introduction, body, and conclusion to your answer. Okay. So again, be mindful. It's not asking you to list. It's asking you to discuss, to interpret, and apply it to the best of your ability. All right. These are all 5 more questions. Let's pick one more. Question 1.3. It asks you, training development is seen as an important factor in meeting the country's economic goals and the employer strategic and operational goals. International competition, corporate restructuring, and technological advances, along with social and economic pressures, increase the importance of employer training and development. What are the main purposes of T&D? Okay, for 5 marks. So here's asking you again, what are the main purposes? So asking you to list them. All right, for 5 marks, you need to identify 5 purposes of T&D and list accordingly. All right. So here, question 1.4, straight away it's asking you, discuss any 5. So it's asking you again to apply and interpret advantages of workforce planning and take the piece of work above it to understand. Okay. Everybody with me? All right. Are there any questions you would like to ask at this time? Are you all comfortable? Any question you would like to ask? Let's go around the room. Andile, any questions from your side? Andile?
All good, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Candice, any questions from you? Candice? Thank you. Jenna, any questions from you? Thank you. Kayla, any questions from you, ma'am? Thank you, Kayla. Kayla Wheeler, any questions from you? Where are you? Are they done there? Hello? Thank you. Atile, any questions from you? Sunay, any questions from you? Thank you, Sunay. All right. So again, as it continues, we go to question number 2. We read the piece of work, all right? And then there are 3 questions, okay? It says one of the external recruitment methods is advertisement. A successful advertisement is thus based on the ADA formula, right? Discuss the ADA formula, outlining its key components and how it can be used in marketing communication. As you know, ADA is attention, informative, and, all right? It says discuss for 9 marks. So straight away, the marking rubric will apply, and you will then give your interpretation in terms of introduction, body, and conclusion. But it's asking you to apply your thoughts on how best you think, make sure I'm on, you think, all right, this as an external recruitment method can be applied in advertisement. Okay. Next question. The recruitment source is a place or location where the organization will search for suitable applicants. For each vacancy, the advantages of recruiting from an outside should be weighed against advantages of recruiting from within. List. So straight away it's asking you for list 5 advantages and 5 disadvantages. So here for 10 marks, list 5 and list 5 disadvantages. All right. Here it says you question 2.3, mention 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages. So mention the same as listing, okay? So the same thing will apply for 6 marks. List 3 advantages, 3 disadvantages. All right. Question 3, it's a so-so question. All right. Question 4, all right, is now asking you in an essay type question that requires you to apply your knowledge, understanding, and skills. You're encouraged to look at the mark allocation when answering. Okay, we know that. Okay, and we know this as well. All right, and here, for example, in this question for 25 marks, it gives you your guide when writing this essay for 25 marks. Structure, introduction, body, and your overall argument or your conclusion, as well as your substantiation and analysis. And the question is, as you can see, for 25 marks, okay, the performance management process is a systematic and ongoing approach used by organizations to ensure that employees' work contributes to the achievement of organizational goals. It involves a series of steps aimed at setting expectations and monitoring progress, providing feedback, and facilitating continuous improvement. Question is that you need to focus on: what are the key steps involved in the performance management process, and how do they contribute to the overall effectiveness of evaluating and improving employee performance within an organization? So the question here is, what are the key steps? Again, it's a discussion type question, as you picked up, because of what it's asking in terms of the route marking guide, all right, but in terms of the performance management process. So there's a process, as we know, there's a 5-step and a 9-step in terms of to answer the question, in terms of understanding what it is, okay? Again, read the question. Then it says to you, how do they contribute to the overall effectiveness of evaluating and improving employee performance within an organization? So here, for your best interpretation, you need to then conclude, what do you think will contribute to the overall effectiveness and of evaluating and improving employee performance within an organization? Which one do you think would be the best suited? Okay, for 25 marks. And if you go up 25 marks out of 120 will give you literally, what is it, 21% of your total paper. Okay, All right, that is more or less all I have to offer in terms of anything else. Is anything else anyone would like to ask? Are you all comfortable? Any question you'd like to ask about your exam prep or the prep in question? Nothing? I think my last comment to all of you, based on your assignment marks for assignment 1, you all did very, very well indeed. Okay, based on that, this exam coming up now should not be a problem for any of you at all. And I wish you all the very, very best of luck when it comes to for your exam. Okay, again, this recording will be posted in the next 24 hours onto the YouTube channel in a link format. If there's any question you want to ask in terms of doing those 4 past papers, again, to repeat, 2018, 2019, 2023 and 2024, and the question is literally from Mars. Please pop me an email and I can help you as best as I possibly can. If you're asking the question, where is the memos? VC does not apply memos to these type of things. It just gives the past paper for you to work through. Okay. If there's nothing else, everybody, best of luck for your exam preparation. Your assignment 2 marks will be out between the next 5 to 7 days, hopefully. And if there's anything I can do to help you, please pop me an email and I'll help do the best as I possibly can. Again, my apologies for the email, sorry, the assignment 1 disaster. And yeah, it's all, as I said to you, hopefully people have overcome, which I know a lot of you have. Yeah, all the very best to you for your exam coming up and for your future study, which I'm sure hopefully you will continue studying down the road. All right. Have a good evening, everybody. Look after yourselves and take care. And all the best for your exam. Thank you, Andila. Thank you, Kayla. All the best. If I can help you, give me a shout. Thank you, Candice. Thank you, Mr. Nay. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Look after yourselves and all the best.